Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want to support the channel. And as you can see, Cardano is currently pumping right now. Also, make sure to check out the memberships if you want access to our Discord server. And yeah, I don't think we will go down right now. I think the ABC structure or the WXY structure, whatever you want to call it, has been pretty much invalidated. And yeah, right now we are working on the fifth wave of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup, and this fifth wave could get somewhere between, let's say, $1.37, maybe even $1.45, maybe even $1.56, so this could overextend. And keep in mind, maybe my wave count is wrong, maybe this right here was the third wave, maybe this was the fourth wave, and then the fifth wave will overextend more than what we thought it would do. So, there is a potential that we go up a lot until we get any kind of correction. And keep in mind, we don't really get big corrections when Cardano starts going up like crazy. So as you can see here in the previous cycle, the only correction that we got was down here. We went from 19.5 cents to about 11 cents to test the bull market support band, and that was it. That was the entire correction, and that took 2 days. So I don't know if we will get a huge correction, and it's very hard to say if we will get one. Now keep in mind, we are overbought on the weekly, and at some point we will have to cool off, but it does not have to be right now. Keep in mind, Bitcoin dominance is currently dropping. I will talk about this more very soon. First I want to talk about the Elliot wave count, and yeah, let's go on the 4-hour again, and let me adjust the main support zone here. This is the main support zone in case the second wave starts, and I will keep adjusting it. Like I said, if you want access to this support zone, you should check out our memberships. Well, if you want access to our charts, you should check out the memberships. And I'm gonna remove the support zone right here very soon. As you can see, the fourth wave reacted to the 0.618 support level. We did not get below this low right here, which means our setup did not get invalidated, and right now we should still see a fifth wave. Now, what do we have of that fifth wave? Well, you could call this a 1-2 setup right here. And if that's the first 1-2 setup of the fifth wave, the third wave, as you can see, it has already gotten to the 200% extension of the 1-2 setup. So, of course, it could overextend to maybe the $1.31 region, maybe even more, maybe, I don't know. It could top at the 200% extension. As you can see, there's currently some resistance here. But this is enough to confirm that the third wave of the fifth wave right here is in, which means we could get a fourth wave very soon, and then a fifth wave, and that could be it for the first wave move down. And then what happens after that is still unclear. Keep in mind, this is the start of the altcoin season, so I don't really know if we will get a huge correction. There is a chance that we get one, but there's also a chance that we don't get any type of correction, and there's a chance that Cardano keeps going up until it actually tops. So yeah, it's really hard to say what will happen. I just know that at some point, yes, we will get a correction, but it might be too late for those who want to buy right now. If you wanted to buy, you should have bought down here when Cardano was in the support zone. After it reacted to the support zone, I don't know if you can remember what I said in my previous videos. Well, that was a long time ago, but when we had this cross right here, I told you that things are going to get bullish. And why did I tell you that? Well, because we also had a cross right here. We did absolutely nothing for some time, and then all of a sudden we started pumping, and this was the first wave move to the upside, and we only started dropping after we had another cross on the bull market support band. And right now we don't seem to be ready to get a cross on the bull market support band, so this will most likely continue to go up for a very long time. And then at some point, when the bull market support band finally gets a cross, maybe when it's up here or something, then we will get some kind of correction. But right now, I'm not expecting a very big correction. We already did get one. You could call this drop right here a correction. This was a good time to buy, in my opinion. We dropped from $1.16 to about 86 cents or so. If you wanted to buy, you should have bought down here. That's what the support zones are for. They are there for you to buy. And like I said, if the price reacts to the support zones, then yeah, you should most likely buy. But if the price does not react, then you should wait for a bigger correction. That bigger correction obviously has not happened, at least not yet. Now, I also want to talk about Bitcoin dominance because I believe this is very important. Now, why is this very important? If you did not watch my previous videos, Bitcoin dominance is very important because whenever this goes down, the altcoin season pretty much begins, like it did over here, for example, in 2020. When it started going down, that's when the real altcoin season started. So as you can see, in this whole cycle, it only went up, and Bitcoin pretty much outperformed every single altcoin, well, almost every single altcoin with a couple of exceptions like Solana. And yeah, right now the Bitcoin dominance level is going down, and maybe it's safe to assume that we have topped. I mean, this looks like a top to me. As you can see, we are going down rapidly, actually like we were doing over here. And if you can remember, I said that it is likely that we get another cycle high in December like we did in this cycle. And right now that does not seem to be, possible to happen, but it could happen. This could be a fake out drop. I don't know about that though. I mean, we are still below the bull market support band. We just had a cross on the bull market support band. So I think it's very likely that we have topped. And yeah, this is the top. It's 61.5%. We reacted to the 0.618 extension, like I told you we will, and yeah, right now we are going down. Also, keep in mind, we just had a halving 217 days ago. And why is that important? Well, if you look at what happened in the previous cycle, I'm not gonna put the halving dates on the chart, you're just gonna have to believe me. In 2020, 230 days after the halving, Bitcoin dominance stopped, and what do you know, right now it has been almost the exact same number of days since the previous halving, so this is a pattern that keeps continuing every single cycle. It also happened in 2016, 230 days after the halving, Bitcoin dominance started dropping like crazy, just like it did in 2020 and just like it's doing right now. Is this a coincidence? I don't think so, and I think this pattern will most likely play out the same in the next cycle as well. But we'll see what happens. Now I'm expecting altcoins to start going crazy once we get moves like this right here. Right now the moves that we are getting are not really impulsive. Of course, I mean, Bitcoin dominance went down like 5%, but that's not really enough for an altcoin season. If we want an altcoin season, we should get these types of wicks to the downside. And, if you look at the monthly chart actually, this really looks like it has topped, but we will have to wait and see what happens. I also want to look at Bitcoin. Let's go on the 4-hour. Bitcoin is still trying to go to that 100k level. It's a very important psychological level, so of course it's going to be difficult to get there. But once that happens, and I'm expecting that to happen very, very soon, once we get to 100k, I think we will just explode to 112k and then 120k. Now, why am I saying that? Because as you know, Bitcoin always goes up in December of a halving year, and I'm expecting this year to be no exception. I'm expecting Bitcoin to go up at least like 20% this month, because that's what it usually does in a halving year. So we should be at 120k by the end of the month, in my opinion, at least judging by what happened in the previous cycles. And imagine what happens if Bitcoin goes to 120k and it keeps going up, but Bitcoin dominance starts going down. That would trigger the biggest altcoin season yet, in my opinion, because as you know, Bitcoin is currently at a very large market cap, much larger than the market caps that we had in the previous cycles, and this could be the most bullish altcoin season so far, just because there's much more money in the market right now. So is it possible for ADA to go above $8? Maybe. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't know. Me personally, I'm probably going to start selling at like $5 to $8. I'm gonna start selling in this region right here. I already bought at like 35 to 30 cents. I even bought some down here, so there's literally no point in, getting greedy. Now, of course, this is not financial advice. I'm just telling you my strategy. I talk about my strategy on our Discord server. If you want access to all of our conversations there, check out the memberships, like I said. And if you buy right now, when Cardano is at like $1.40, are you gonna make money in this bull market? Well, probably, but it all depends when you want to sell. If you want to make like 10x and sell at like $12, I don't think it's possible to get there, or at least it's not likely that we do get there. So if you want to get greedy right now and buy, thinking it's gonna go up like another 10x, my suggestion to you is don't get greedy. You should be okay with a 4 to 5x return on investment. You should not really want like 5000x or, these crazy numbers that people are expecting to get when they buy shitcoins. This is crypto, this is a dangerous game, and you should be very careful with your investments. I also want to talk about something else, and it's gonna sound kind of weird, but there is a chance that this drop right here was actually the second wave move down, and if that's the case, it's a sad drop. But this could be the case because if you remember what I said at the beginning of the video, we don't really get huge drops during the bull market, so I mean, that could be it. That could be the second wave move down, and if it is, then the third wave of the third wave is next, and this should be insane. This is gonna be insane just because the first wave was already very impulsive, so the third wave needs to be even more impulsive. And if you want to judge this based on the Elliot wave analysis, theoretically the third wave will have to get to the 200% extension of this one to set up, and that's at like $4.81, only the third wave of the third wave. If that happens, if that's only the third wave of the third wave, and if we get like $5 in that third wave, it's gonna get crazy in this bull cycle. But of course, don't get too excited. We might still get a huge correction very soon, so don't get greedy and make sure to be careful right now because there are many scams going on, and yeah, be careful. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.